Did you know in Furiosa, a Mad Max saga? The movie starts off with voiceover comments on what's happened to the world.
The earth is sour. Our bones are poisoned. We have become half-life.
Everything we hear in the beginning is actually taken from the beginning of Mad Max Fury Road. When Furiosa notices the Raiders, she tells her friend,
Valkyrie, be invisible.
This ends up being the same character that Furiosa would later find in the Mad Max Fury Road film when she reaches the location where the green place should be. Before Furiosa's mother leaves to save her, the Valvoline general says,
The stars be with you.
This is how Furiosa manages to remember the location of the sacred green place, as she'll tattoo the star constellation that guides her home onto her arm. After Furiosa is brought to Dementis, we meet the organic mechanic. This is the same man who's in Immortan Joe's employ in Mad Max Fury Road. When Dementis tests the new captives, he says,
Because today, we dance to Darwin.
This is his own way of saying that they're going to essentially play by the rules, survival of the fittest. When Dementis addresses the Citadel, we can see Rictus Erectus and Scabrous Scrotus next to Immortan Joe. And while Erectus was present in Mad Max Fury Road, this is the first live-action appearance of Scrotus, as he was a character introduced in the 2015 Mad Max video game. While Immortan Joe steps forward, you can see the People Eater standing beside him. And you'll notice that he has a gas mask with a nose hose hanging from his pants in a way that resembles his manhood. After a raider questions Dementis, Dementis makes it clear that he's not the greatest when it comes to language and words, as he has trouble saying authority and says something else instead.
Questioning my authority.
When we see Gastown headquarters, the Guardian of Gastown is painting the wall based off of a famous painting he found in a book. The painting being reproduced is Hylas and the Nymphs, which is an 1896 oil painting by John William Waterhouse about enraptured Hylas being abducted by female water nymphs while seeking drinking water. When the Gastown Guardian looks through the telescope, we get a good look at the highway that the convoy's coming down, and you'll notice a sigil of Immortan Joe's symbol on the road. This was done to lay claim to the rep between Gastown and the Citadel. After Dementis leaves the Citadel, Furiosa's taken to the wives' chambers, and this is the same location seen in Mad Max Fury Road where the wives were kept until Furiosa helped them escape. But at this point in time, there are many more wives than we see later on. When Scrotus takes the brakeman's glove, you can see that the brakeman's helmet has a hose that wraps over his head. And on the end of it is another one of Rictus Erectus's little baby doll heads covered in oil and smudge. After Furiosa becomes the dog man, she salutes the pile of steering wheels in the Citadel. This is the same pile that Nux and his warboy salute before taking their wheel to pursue Furiosa in Mad Max Fury Road. Before Praetorian Jack gets in the war rig, one of the Black Thumbs says,
He done the most runs on the Fury Road.
This is the only mention of the convoy route being called the Fury Road, which refers to the first film, Mad Max Fury Road. When the convoy heads down the Fury Road, we get a glimpse of Immortan Joe's sigil on the asphalt. But this one has black horns on it, which refers to the fact that the Octoboss and his crew have taken over control of this section, as the horns look like the ones on his helmet. When Praetorian Jack drives onto the trap, we can see the rig from inside. This shows that the steering wheel's on the right side of the vehicle, which is correct, since the film is set in Australia. But this is different from Furiosa's, as she has one that drives from the left side. While the war rig is under attack, the Raiders eventually pull out some airborne machines to take it down, and this contraption is similar to the one introduced in Mad Max Road Warrior. At the bullet farm, Jack's rig is unloaded of its food, water, and mother's milk, and one warboy in particular is painted yellow instead of white. This is because color warboys represent different levels of society and toughness in the 2015 video game, and this warboy is in charge of the others. When the bullet farmer talks with Jack, he hands him a boomstick shotgun, and this is similar to the one that Mad Max uses in the original trilogy, and it was also seen again in Mad Max Fury Road. During one of the scenes at Gastown, we get a good look at one of Dementis' second-in-command, Rizdale. The actor who portrays him, Lachi Hulme, actually ended up doubling up and also played the Immortan Joe character since the original actor, Hugh Keys-Byrne, died after filming Mad Max Fury Road. When Dementis shows up in Gastown, you can see that he's decided to take on a new fashion, as he's wearing the same vest that the late great Gastown Guardian wore the same day that Dementis took the city by force all those years ago. After the attack in Gastown, Jack fires a flare to the sky that's green, and he does this as a way to signal to Furiosa that he wants her to just go and abandon him. When Dementis knocks the gate down, all of his followers are close behind him while riding their motorcycles, but one lonely follower isn't very good with his bike and ends up falling off before getting past the gate. During the scene where Dementis finds Furiosa's arm, this shows that she's lost much more than an arm or a lover, as that's the arm that had the tattoo of the stars to guide her to the green place, and she decided to sacrifice that in order to survive her getting revenge against Dementis. While Furiosa's stumbling back to the Citadel, we get a different point of view from on top of a cliff. There's a man leaning on his car while eating canned dog food, and this is a special cameo appearance of young Max. When Furiosa wakes up in a hole, she finds that the inhabitants have been treating her amputated arm with maggots. This is a real therapy where maggots are used to eat the dead or infected flesh, but in this universe, this doubles as a food source as they would eat the maggots after plumping them up with human flesh. During the 40-Day War, a character seen playing a flaming guitar on a car filled with amps. And this is the Doof Warrior who made his first appearance in Mad Max Fury Road. Before Furiosa goes to war, she finds someone with a vehicle she can drive from the Citadel, and the character who shows her a beat-up piece of junk is similar to the hunchback Black Thumb Chumbucket introduced in the 2015 Mad Max video game, who also shows Max a piece of junk that needs to be fixed up. After Dementis and his crew split up, Rizdale runs into a group of rogue raiders on bikes on the cliff. This group of riders are the same ones that Furiosa would attempt to make a deal with in Mad Max Fury Road when she barters with them to block the passageway before Morton Joe arrives. When Furiosa takes fruit to the wives, the women seen in the chamber are the same ones that she helps escape Morton Joe in Mad Max Fury Road, and the wives who were there before have become the milkers seen in the previous film. Before Furiosa and the wives escape, there's an apparent time jump to moments before Mad Max Fury Road begins, as she's seen hiding the wives in the rig, and this is a cameo appearance by Charlize Theron, who plays older Furiosa in the previous film. During the end credits, scenes from the previous film play out as a sort of recap of what happens to Furiosa after the events of this prequel entry.